Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by King of the Cage Junior Flyweight Champion, John DeVall. John, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, Mike. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. John, you got a fight coming up January 30th at King of the Cage Cold War. How's training been going for the fight?
Excellent. I've been putting my time in at 303 Training Center, and tomorrow I'll be at Drudge working on my striking and stuff with Trevor Whitman.
On January 30th, you're going to try to join Tony Lopez and Alex Reyes as the current two-division champions in King of the Cage. Tony Lopez has the super heavyweight and heavyweight titles, and Alex Reyes has the junior welterweight title, and he has the lightweight belt as well. So you're going to try to join those guys and hold two belts at the same time. You're moving up technically in weight, even though you fought at 135 before in the past. You're going to be fighting for the King of the Cage flyweight title. You're the current King of the Cage junior flyweight champion, which is kind of confusing because King of the Cage doesn't have a featherweight division. They call featherweight bantamweight, they call bantamweight flyweight, and they call flyweight junior flyweight. That's how their weight divisions are named. It's kind of confusing, but when you look at it, it's not that confusing because you just take away featherweight and you just go from there. So it's not that bad, but some people are kind of getting confused when you say you're moving up to flyweight even though you have the 125 belt. So I guess some people were very curious about that, but something I'm curious about is how did this fight all come together? Is it a situation where there was no one deemed worthy enough to challenge you at 125 for your belt? And was it a situation where there was nobody who was deemed worthy enough to challenge for the 135 belt? So King of the Cage just said, hey, let's put these two guys together and have them fight because there isn't really a contender in either division? Or was it a situation where you said, okay, let me go up in weight class, and you made this proposal to King of the Cage and said, hey, let me go up in weight and challenge for the 135-pound belt? How exactly did this fight all come together?
Honestly, it's pretty much all of the above. At 125, they don't really have a very large talent pool yet because it's one of their newer weight classes. Mm-hmm. And at the 35 belt is what I originally, I came in King of the Cage and I had most of my fights at 35. So they offered me that because now I'm the champ, So they're like, well, we don't really have anybody that's worthy to challenge you for your defense again, so we'll offer you this if you want. And I mean, that's what coming into the organization, that's what I wanted anyways, and I want to try and use it to build myself up and get myself ready, possibly go, jump up to like RFA, Legacy, maybe pick up the UFC, or Bellator again. Whoever would, look down and see this and be like, dang, this kid's doing work, he hasn't taken any time off, and he's ready to step up and prove himself against the best in the world, and that's what I really want. I want to fight the best guys that are possible. Mm-hmm. Win or lose, I don't care. Obviously I want to win, but I want to be tested. Because everybody all the time, I kind of use the young guns reference. If you're not testing each other every day, what are you really doing?
Your goal when you got into mixed martial arts was to be a champion before your 30th birthday. You accomplished that in your last fight when you claimed the King of the Cage Junior Flyweight Championship when you knocked out Nate Williams back in August. You were able to capture that belt when you were still 29, so you accomplished that goal. Now, considering your goals and considering that you're currently 30 years old, how much would it mean to you to capture a second title on January 30th?
It's huge. I'm so thankful that they even give me this chance, to prove myself. And, like I said, I wanted that. I got it. I achieved that goal. And my next goal now is, I want to be UFC champion. I want to be number one. I'm maybe fifth in the world right now at 125 just by winning that one fight. I want to be number one. And I'm going to do everything I possibly can. And, if I got to go 35, I can prove that I can fight 25 or 35. And I'll fight anybody at this time. I'm not scared.
Going forward, what weight class would you like to fight in? Would you like to stay at 135, or would you like to go back down to 125?
I prefer by 25 because I happen to be 5'10", and I'm humongous compared to all the other 25ers I've seen, or even anybody I've even researched. I've only seen maybe one or two others that are about my size, and I've watched them fight, and it must be their cuts or something, but they perform terribly. And I made this weight cut at 29 years old. the lowest I've ever made at the height of my career, and I did it really well, actually. And, you know, like right now, my weight cut's not even really a weight cut. I've been eating more than I normally eat, and I'm walking at like 42 to 45 right now, you know, and I'm drinking a gallon to, you know, almost 2 gallons of water a day. So, you know, I'm super pumped. I'd like to do 25 because, you know, I'd have no problem fighting anybody at that weight class. Anybody. I'm not afraid of any ghost.
What's your normal walk-around weight?
170, give or take.
Really?
Yeah.
That heavy?
That's what I know. When I thought it was like, wow, you're 5'10", 170, I was like, now, it's taken me a very, very long time get to this point, you know. It's really cool, though, and I'm very happy to be this. You know, I mean, like I said, when I quit fighting, I can't wait to blow up and be like 200 pounds. You know, I'm a huge fan of CrossFit. I love working out. That's my obsession.
I've seen the Instagram posts you've made, and I've seen the food that you've been eating, and it all looks amazing. You're eating very, very well. How much are you enjoying not having to cut that last 10 pounds and go down to 125? How much are you enjoying that?
A lot. And that's, I mean, making that 125 cut, my body is regulated now. Like, this, you know, that's what I mean. I could fight 25, 35. 25 would be, you know, it's a little bit of work for me to get 25, but 35 isn't really anything. And I believe that will actually help me a lot when I fight these, you know, these dudes that cut more weight. I think it drains them too much, and I'm going to walk in pretty much, you know, 90, 95%. But normally, I used to come at like 80, 85, you know, and I can tell the huge difference. I'm super pumped for that, man. I can't wait to go out there and perform in front of everybody, and, you know, I'm looking to either knock this kid out or submit him. One or the other, I don't care. I take a win.
Do you have a nutritionist, or do you have someone who makes your food for you? Do you work with a professional, someone who works in the nutrition field? Do you work with someone like that, and they make your food, or are you doing this all on your own? Who makes this food for you? Because it all looks amazing.
My friend's wife is spoiling us. Like, she's been actually cooking our meals. Like, we walk right in after practice, right in the door, and get to eat dinner. It's super, super nice, convenient. I mean, normally I meal prep everything and bring it with me so that I, you know, as soon as I'm done training, I'm eating instantaneously. You know, I understand that this will fuel your body. And taking that time is you're just robbing yourself.
Are you still fighting Ruben Duran?
Actually, I'm not fighting Ruben Duran. He broke his thumb on Saturday.
I thought so. I wasn't sure. I saw an Instagram post you had put up, and in that post it said interim champion. So I thought, well, if Duran is the regular champion, the permanent champion, why would he be fighting for an interim belt? So I wasn't sure. I saw that, and so I had to just check and make sure. Who's your new opponent?
I'm going to be challenging against Derek Mandel out of Michigan Top Team. I want to say his record's like 5-2 or 6-2. He's 5'3", you know, stocky power wrestler. When I watch his videos, his striking looks decent. He just looks like he likes to take people down and ground and pound them. And if he does that with me, I don't think he's going to enjoy taking me down. You know, I put out him a striker, but my jiu-jitsu is not so far at all. I work extremely hard on that. And especially right now, I'm training under 3 different professors, you know, and they've helped me immensely. I've been boxing since I was 12. I've been kickboxing since I was 18. I'm really big in Muay Thai. And my jiu-jitsu, you know, I recently got my purple belt under Tony Basil. And, you know, I roll every day with probably 8 different purple belts, a couple browns, and then 2 to 3 different blacks. And I stuff all the purples and browns. I struggle with blacks, but, you know, I'm like 145 pounds. They have to be like 170 to like 185. So, I mean, I put my work in, but eventually I'll get there. It takes, you know, patience.
Prediction for the fight?
Knockout or submission, honestly. I'm trying, you know, if he shoots in real hard and I can get it, I'm going to try and throw the knee. If not, he takes me down, armbar, triangle, or
John, we'll end on this. It's a little segment I like to call Really Random. That's where I ask you a random question and you give me the real answer. Some of these questions are custom made just for you, and some of these questions are generic ones that I ask all the people I interview. So here's the first question. Superpower you'd love to have?
Invisibility.
Favorite movie?
Conan the Barbarian.
Movie you've seen the most times?
Braveheart.
Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite guilty pleasure?
Eating food.
From April 2011 to September 2013, you had a little bit of a rough patch during that time period. You went 2-6, but since then, you're doing very well. You claimed the King of the Cage Junior Flyweight title, and you're 6-1 in your last 7 since that rough patch. What went wrong for you during April 2011 to September 2013, and how have you been able to turn things around and do better than ever?
My father, who's an extremely huge part of my life, he got hurt and was disabled. And I was training with tons of good stud, fighters and stuff, and my skill level went up high. I couldn't focus on what I needed to do. I couldn't put my blinders on and focus on the guy ahead of me. I was living down south, training all the time, and I'm a big family guy. Like, my family comes first, and I couldn't focus right. And then, I came back home, I started training again, opened my school, and I came out here and started training, doing all my camps and stuff, and then I trained down in Omaha, and I got a really, really good support system going, and everything has been popping off, I don't know, all my ducks got in a row, and it's just been awesome ever since.
In your 18 fights, you've only gone to decision 3 times. Surprisingly, the 3 times you've gone the distance, you haven't won those fights. Do you have any theories on why you haven't been able to win those decisions?
Predominantly it's the wrestling. A lot of times, a couple of those I had really, really bad weight cuts, and I was really sick off of them. And dudes just took me down and just held me. They just controlled my hips, wouldn't let me do no jiu-jitsu. And I complained about a couple of them because I'm like, the dudes didn't do anything. They should have stood up, And that's, one of my biggest things about MMA is the judging system. That if a dude's just sitting there holding your hips doing nothing, they shouldn't win a fight. And slowly it's starting to change. But, most of them, that's predominantly what happened in those fights. Dude just took me down and just held me there the whole time. And I'm just like, I look at the ref and go, hey, you going to stand this up so we can do something? Because, people are paying, good money to watch a fight, not watch a dude hold me on the ground.
You started boxing when you were a preteen, so you have I guess you could say a boxing background, but a majority of your wins in MMA are by submission. What do you like better, winning a fight by knockout or winning a fight by submission?
I prefer submission because it's safer. People, everybody goes through the big knockouts and predominantly get knocked out themselves. The knockouts I had were just, they were there. They were perfectly landed strikes. I honestly wasn't really even trying to do it. It happened. Predominantly, half the submissions I get is, the way I explain it, I knock you to the submission. I usually hit and ring people's bells, and instead of trying to finish on the strikes, I usually go for the sub because I understand that they're bewildered. And then that 1 to 3 seconds where they're bewildered is where I can actually catch them. If I try to finish them with, strikes, I'm just as open. If I drop my hands and stuff, I've seen so many high-level dudes get put to sleep trying to go for the kill when they could have just put dude in a guillotine or took his back and really choked him.
Who gave you your nickname, Bogus?
I earned it when I was in high school. It was my Elliot. Because, as you can tell, I have the gift gab. I love to talk. And I used to, anything that was at a topic, I give my 2 cents on. And they always called me John Bogus, or Johnny Bogus.
How many tattoos do you have?
How many tattoos? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. My leg, I'm starting to get a full sleeve on that, so that will count as 1.
Do you always paint your nails for your fights?
My girlfriend does, but yes, I do.
Now, maybe you have or maybe you haven't. I guess we'll find out. But have you had that perfect fight yet? Have you had a fight where you can point to and say, you know what, if I show up like this every time and I have a performance like this every time I fight, no one's ever going to beat me? Have you had that fight yet? And if so, who was it against?
I'd say my Bellator MMA fight, when I fought Christopher Lane. My mentality for that was perfect. I did everything that I wanted to in that fight, and I actually kind of baited him to take me down. We knew he was a good collegiate power wrestler, and we knew that he would just try and staff me really hard, and that if he did, he missed weight. He actually helped me a lot when he missed weight because he killed himself trying to make it. And he was strong, but he was only strong for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and after that he pretty much gassed out. And I used my striking and let him take me down, and then I pretty sure I caught him in a triangle. Put him to sleep. I told the ref that he was out, and then he woke up and tapped.
What would you rather be known as? Would you rather be known as the best fighter in the world, or would you rather be known as the highest paid fighter in the world? What means more to you, glory or wealth?
Glory.
Why?
Lasts forever. Wealth goes away in an instant.
Hobbies outside of fighting?
All I do is train. CrossFit, I guess, would be my hobby. I guess, like, as soon as I'm done fighting, I can't wait to do that. I'd like to go to the CrossFit Games and, predominantly, even on my weight cuts, I could put up the same numbers as most of the guys that outweigh me by 40, 50 pounds. I love that. I love pushing myself to my limit. Like, I'm one of those guys, when I go for a run, I run as hard and as fast, and I go as, I push myself. I'm one of those guys, I try to cheat death at everything I do. I mean, it's not like I'm extreme. I understand that if I put myself there, when I get to that position in a fight or any other situation in my life, I won't quit. I'll take a deep breath and I'll suffer through it and do what I got to do.
Go-to song when you're singing in the shower?
Bring the motherfucking ruckus, man. Bring the ruckus by Wu-Tang. I always sing that song. I love that song more than anything.
Celebrity people say you look like?
Conor McGregor. I get that every damn day. But, I wouldn't mind if he wasn't so arrogant. Now, I understand he's notorious and he makes a lot of money for talking so much. But I wish he'd be a little bit more humble and be more of a martial artist. After his fights, he's pretty cool about it, but before it, he jabbers too damn much.
If you could stay one age forever, how old would you stay?
I'd say 30. I like how I feel right now. I'd say this year I'm probably strongest and fastest in my mentality, my spirituality, everything right now. I just, I feel like I'm peaking, and whenever he tells me the next 2 to 3 years, I'll just get better. So, I don't know, maybe 30 is before, but I say 30 right now because this has been my best year of my life.
If you could trade places with anyone in the world for a week, who would you trade places with, and why?
Ooh. Go back in time, I'd trade places with Genghis Khan, just because I could conquer the world and be the first person to ever do it.
Do you have any pre-fight rituals or superstitions?
No, I don't believe in that stuff. When I was younger, I used to, and then my dad explained to me, John, if you have something like that, you just have a crutch. So if that doesn't happen, you're going to lose a fight, So if you do, you should lose it because if you weren't the best you or you made a mistake, you should, it's just like jiu-jitsu when I get caught in a submission. Right? Because pretty much predominantly as it's happening, I know what's going to happen. And I tap and I'm like, good job, you got me. Now I'm going to get you.
What about post-fight rituals?
Post-fight rituals. Since we fight at home, we always go and we eat some Mexican food. Favorite
social media platform?
I'd probably say Instagram. I use Facebook a lot, but I like Instagram more because there's just so much more variety of stuff on there. I get to watch tons of moves. I get to see all kinds of food, and I guess I've seen a lot more cooler stuff on there that's not so negative. Like, everything else is just a pity party.
Piece of technology you can't live without?
It used to be I could live without my phone, but apparently now, the more you climb up in the world, the more you gotta have that thing attached to your hip.
Website you visit most often?
Probably Facebook.
What's your porn star name? If you combine your childhood pet with the street you grew up on, what would your porn star name be?
Let me see here. Timber, Iowa? That's pretty funny, actually.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? Little Smokies. Fucking, I don't know, I love them goddamn things.
What's your least favorite food?
Probably eating all, when I cut to 25, eating nuts and berries and only greens. That combination, I'm a woodland creature.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Probably La Juanita's, back home. It's a local deal. But they have, I think they're, 8th in the nation for burrito? Yeah, they got 8th in the nation for the best burrito. Not life-changing burrito, that's what it was.
What's your pet peeve?
Bad manners and, no moral values. It drives me nuts when I have mannerisms and people don't have it. Maybe it's coming from Iowa, but it drives me nuts when I go places and I hold the door or say, excuse me, people look like I'm retarded.
Let's say you found a magic lamp, and you rubbed that magic lamp, and a genie appeared, and the genie said he was going to grant you 3 wishes. What would those 3 wishes be?
World peace, no hunger for everybody. I don't even have a 3rd wish. I'm a very selfless person. That's,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather have everybody do well.
Yeah, I can tell. What's the best thing that ever happened to you?
Winning that world championship. I remember being a little kid, I wanted to be the world champion in boxing. And then, when I turned like 17, 18, I wanted to try and do some smokers and stuff, and it was just dead. Like, boxing was absolutely dead then. It's come back now. I mean, kids are blessed now that it's back to life, but, I wanted to do that, and I remember that's how I got my first MMA fight. I went to do a smoker, and the show got canceled, so I went and did an MMA fight that weekend instead. I got fight at night, and I broke my nose, so it touched my cheek, and after that I was like, I'll be champion of the world one day. I don't care what I got to do, but I'll do it.
What's the worst thing that ever happened to you?
Probably my grandpa passed, my mom's dad. He meant a lot to me. It was like my father. Just, like I said, my family's everything to me, so right now that's the worst moment. Probably when my mom and dad passed, probably the next worst things that ever happened to me. Just because, whenever you need something, I can always call upon them, and they got the great advice, because they don't tell me what I want to hear, they tell me what I need to hear, which is predominantly not what I want.
Right.
Time
period you'd like to go back and visit, and why?
Well, I used to say I want to live in ancient times, but I would say probably post-World War II, just so I could see what it was like to be part of the greatest generation. I think anything before that would have been, everybody has this great ideal that would be awesome, but, when you could die because there was no penicillin, people don't, they like to dream about it, but they don't really think logically about it. Mm-hmm. And me, I would just, I'd like to go back and see what happened, I'd see mankind, because for me, I think that was mankind's greatest age, is right after World War II, like when we had, like a good, 5 to 8 years before the Korean War, that we had kind of a good streak, it was just, we were booming, everything was going good.
What do you worry about? What's something that keeps you up at night?
Losing. Every loss I've had, that's why when you ask me what my loss is, I remember every loss. Probably the worst loss that I remember was, the most humbling one was to Brian Davidson. I took that fight on 3-day notice, and, I didn't think he was anything special, which was completely retarded of me at the time, and he dropped me with a flying knee, and, put me down with the elbows, he got a TKO win on me, and I remember going back to my hotel. I could barely walk. I couldn't walk right for 3 weeks because he kicked so hard, and I ate all of them. And I walk around my hotel room, I sit down, and my fight comes on TV, and I sat there and watched myself, do that, and I wanted to be top 10 for knockouts of the year for that year, and that right there was probably the biggest pivotal turning point in my career, because I was like, I'll never let that happen again. And he showed me what it was like to truly be in martial arts, because he could have severely hurt me. And I noticed he was more looking for the ref just to stop the fight, and that's pretty much what I do in my fights. I don't go out there aiming to hurt people. I go out there just aiming to win, and I don't care how I can win, but I want to. And I don't, when I go in there, I pray and I ask that I don't get hurt and that my opponent doesn't get hurt. Because most people, they got a job. After that fight, they got to wake up and go to work. They got a family and they got to provide. And I don't, I'm not looking for people to maliciously get hurt when they fight me. I know it happens sometimes, but it's not something that I aim to do. I use all my losses. Like when I'm shadow boxing and I run, I'm going through every fight that I ever lost, beating the living crap out of those dudes, just because that's what fuels me, my fire.
Person you look up to the most?
My father. He, everybody we know that I know calls him Chief or, Pop. And that's because he's probably the most straightforward person ever. He will never tell you what you want to hear. And if you ever need anything, he has you 100%, unless you do him wrong. And he'll give you 20 chances. And then once he's done with you, he's done with you. And that's, I try to base myself off of that. I try to give everybody as many, chances I possibly can until I can't help them no more. And then, I cut ties.
Best advice you were ever given through life, and best advice you were ever given through fighting, and who gave it to you?
Do as I say, not as I do. My father told me, and what that really breaks down to is, take my advice, because I won't give you bad advice. I will try to do everything I possibly can so you don't have to commit the same sins I did or have to suffer any way that I ever did. I would never wish that upon anybody. I don't want anybody to have to go through that. I'd rather have them not have to live through that experience and have to carry that with them, because, it's like a yoke on your shoulders. And after you get so much of it, that's why people, they quit in life, and they have such a hard life. They lose track that, it's not the end of the world when you mess up. You just, live and learn. Number
one thing on your bucket list?
UFC champion. Honest to God. I I don't know, after I won that first belt, I got this, you know, like I say, I'm a pirate. I have this craze for gold now. I want every title I can possibly get. And like I told you, glory. I want to go down. I want to be known as like one of the best fighters there ever was, and especially where I came from. You know, I don't know, it's more of a knockdown, drag-out place, and it's super sad and very depressing. And I'd like to use what I do to change that place. You know, that's always been my mission, is to make the place that I live into a good place. You know, make it, I don't know, more of a wholesome spot that the way kids ain't got to, you know, go through a bunch of crap. They can have a better life.
What's your hidden talent?
I fight like it's chess. You know, there's always method behind my madness, if that makes sense. I don't deliberately do anything by mistake. You know, when I was younger, I made those mistakes. Then I reflected and I started thinking about that, and I just tried to make everything like a chess move. What's
your favorite band and/or solo artist?
My favorite band, probably Wu-Tang right now. I mean, my biggest one. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Talking Heads, but since I fight with Tina Cage, I can't use a walkout song, so you can't hear Psycho Killer, which I deeply miss that, because that's such an upbeat, awesome song, and it describes me to the T. I don't know if you ever heard it before, but if you haven't, I recommend listening to it. It's awesome.
Last question, John. If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change and why? I don't know. I always grew up watching Star Trek. I always kind of think, I wish our people were all united as one front. You know, we have endless capabilities and possibilities at our fingertips, and the main thing that holds us back is that we sit and quarrel about, you know, imaginary lines and resources when we could easily shoot out into the universe and conquer it all. John, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
I'd like to thank Cruise Chiropractic, Jeff Snow and Mo LTD, Midwest Fast Lube, Cage6.com, got a bunch of others, I just can't think of them offhand. And be sure to come out to this fight. You know, I plan on putting on fireworks. You know, I've been putting my time in this camp. You know, that's nothing against Derek, but I was preparing for a UFC guy. So he's going to get the same. Yeah, he's probably going to get more because I'm pretty pissed off. I mean, I understand people get injured, but I wanted that fight. I wanted people to know that I'm the real deal. And, he gets to take the brunt of that force.
John, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it, and best of luck coming up on January 30th.
Thank you so very much, Mike. You have a wonderful day.